So close you can almost taste it.
What? You just gonna walk away? Time to bring the juice.
Never leave a fit behind. Rip it, and bring the juice.
That flavor's just out of reach.
Drop the Legos and bring the juice. Yee.
We just saw Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker go face-to-face. Becky Lynch defend the Intercontinental Championship. Oba Femi back in action on Raw. Joe Hendry perform a concert. And oh yeah, Jacob Fatu laid out Roman Reigns. This is the Raw recap on WWE Now, a WWE and Fanatics original production. Oh, Megan. I can't believe it. Here we are. Welcome.
Back in the studio, baby.
Back in the studio.
Feels good to be back.
Yes, back in the office basement. Welcome to the Raw recap. And listen. We know when we start a Monday Night Raw with the Samoans sitting around at the table. And I will tell you this about this Samoan dynasty, that the level of wisdom that Jey Uso has achieved, it seems like more and more, whether it was last week on Raw, whether it was Friday on SmackDown, whether it was tonight on Raw, Jey Uso is the one that keeps being proven correct.
Yes.
When he's talking about what is directly in front of Roman Reigns.
Yes, and Jey Uso has showed a whole different side of emotion, at least recently.
Crashing out.
It was crashing out, Jey. Friday, we see a much more serious Jey talking from experience, and tonight as well.
He was crashing out a little bit tonight, though, on LA Knight.
Yes,
I love
backstage with
Crash
LA
Out
Knight.
Jey.
Yes, backstage with LA Knight, but in that confrontation with the OTC, that backstage sit down, or wherever they were,
Sure.
in that location,
I don't get invited.
he didn't seem like he was crashing out to me.
No, but he's on the verge of crashing out.
Always.
It's always, that's what it is.
Always.
That's what it is with this version of Jey. Always
Yes.
on the verge of crashing out. And it's literally my favorite Jey Uso.
Well, it doesn't take much to
No, set him off.
turn the switch,
He's
you know?
all emotion.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be, especially in this world of professional wrestling. So listen, after we hear what Roman Reigns and the Usos say at the beginning of the show with Jimmy, trying to keep the peace, trying to keep everything copacetic, but Jey being the one saying, I told you Jacob is dangerous. Jey also being the one saying there has to be consequences. Who said that? Who'd Jey learn that from?
Roman Reigns.
Isn't it amazing that it's all coming full circle? That now Jey, who felt the brunt of that, is reminding Roman Reigns, hey, there has to be consequences for actions. A week ago, Roman Reigns was the one talking to Jey about washed 90s rappers making fun of him. That's crazy to me. Jey is turned around saying, well, look at what Jacob's out there doing. There has to be consequences.
Solo said that for a while, too. Actions have consequences, right?
Oh, Solo's right.
Right?
I miss Solo's right.
I love you, Solo.
Oh, I love you. So there's so much. There's so much to dig into in Bloodline history. But Roman Reigns coming out Monday Night Raw alone. And again, this is a sort of different Roman Reigns. This is the same way he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Alone. He's got the family. And this is what, I've kind of been talking about this all week. Anybody that will talk to me, I'll talk to them about the Bloodline. But this is the difference, because I feel like everybody, when they watch what's going on, are kind of just trying to get themselves back into a place where the bloodline is being rebuilt as it was before. But that's not what's happening in front of us.
No, because Jacob wasn't even around when the bloodline was what it was before.
And Roman specifically said, as you and I a week ago were standing, acknowledging in the T-Mobile Arena, I don't want you here to serve me. I just want to know that I have your love, that I have your respect, and that we have each other's backs. He said, I want to do business with my family again. But he doesn't want to be that sort of, because this Roman Reigns is not look, there were insecurities built in to the old Roman Reigns. It was a Roman Reigns that was constantly making sure that he was being given the respect that he was owed. I don't feel that from this version of Roman Reigns.
No, he was telling his family members to fall in line almost as if it was a threat.
Yes. Whereas this Roman Reigns now is like, look, I've proven this. You know, there's a confidence, and I think, and it's interesting because he brought it up, you know, at the beginning of the show. And I wonder if the confidence comes in winning the title alone, or I wonder if the confidence came before that. I wonder if there's a degree of confidence in the fact that he believes what he said, which is that he gave the entire roster, he said his family included. This is why he's offended that Jacob Fatu is stepping up now. He said that he gave everybody on this roster 2 years while he stepped back from that title picture. He gave them 2 years to get done what they needed to get done. And he said from his perspective, nobody stepped up. And now he's come back to take it. And I wonder what gives you more confidence, taking it back or the realization that you can leave for 2 years and not feel like anybody's taken that spot.
No one was on Roman's level.
He's greatness on a different level.
That's right.
That's what the shirt said. That's what
I
he's
think
existing
that
as.
confidence, I mean, it has to just grow and grow as you're away for 2 years and no one's stepping in.
At first, it's probably like, uh-oh, if I leave, because that's every insecurity of every wrestler, but I think that exists in every job. You know what I mean? You take a couple sick days and you're like, I hope they don't forget about me. I hope somebody doesn't come and do my job. I hope they don't realize that I'm not as good as they think I am. I hope they... And then if you're gone for a certain period of time and you feel like no one stepped up, because I'm sure there'd be people that argue that. I'm sure CM Punk would not agree with that. I'm sure Seth Rollins would not agree with that. I bet Drew McIntyre would not agree with that. But Roman believes that to be true. As you're sitting there watching it happen, is that just confidence growing and growing and growing?
Of course it is.
It's got to be, right?
Of course. I mean, there's a reason you don't take too many days off from Sirius XM.
I take plenty of days.
I fill in for you, and all of a sudden, the people start talking.
Everybody's yapping. Oh, my God, the show sounded so good. I was like, wow, I don't need to hear that. Thank you very much.
I mean, it'd be crazy if you were sitting at home and like, wow, no one can fill my shoes.
You think that'd be a crazy thing for me to say?
It might be, yeah. It might be pretty crazy.
Well, I'm just
but that's the experience Roman has,
I always
and
wonder,
not many can relate to.
it's amazing. You could be so good, but so humble. It's really incredible. Roman comes to the ring by himself,
Yes.
holding the world heavyweight title, and he reminds everybody, and I love this reminder, that this is the title that was created in spite of Roman Reigns. This is the title that was created to try to take Roman's shine away, but they couldn't do it because he said there's an old saying, the man makes the title, and Roman has stepped up and made the world heavyweight championship. Roman says that he's the one who brought the world heavyweight championship to the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania, that he's the one that has once again taken a title and placed it atop the industry, because that's what happens when Roman Reigns is a champion.
I started to get a little nervous when he was pointing this out because Jey Uso was the world heavyweight champion.
Oh, and thinking our family's going to feel a certain way.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, it's possible, and who knows? That could come back. Everything counts.
Yes.
That could come back to haunt him. That's a good thought. I hadn't even considered it, but you're right. That title was held by Jey Uso at one point.
Because
Although
essentially
Roman did,
by saying that, right, he's
ahead.
saying nobody else made this title relevant. And I think of the former world heavyweight champions of that title. It's Seth, it's Gunther, it's Jey Uso, it's CM Punk.
Yeah. And Damian Priest.
Oh, Damian Priest,
And
yes.
Drew McIntyre for a hot
Yes.
second. Hot second. But yeah.
Fired off a tweet and that was it.
That was it. That was all the
Hard
time
at
he had to
work.
do. Yeah. Although he did give Jay respect. He did when he came back after Jay had won the title, he treated Jay differently.
Yes.
So maybe that cancels it out. Well, I mean, look, as long as Jay doesn't crash out. But as Roman is saying this, he asks Texas to acknowledge him, and they do so very, very happily. And that's when the music hits. Boom, boom, boom. Here comes Jacob Fatu. And we're still in the afterglow of the kind of shock and awe that was the end of last week's Raw when Jacob steps up to Roman Reigns. And Jacob shows up. he interrupts Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns says, I gave you a week. I gave you a week to make sure you were making the right decision. And Jacob said, you gave me a week? I didn't need a week. I didn't need a day. Hell, I didn't need an hour. He said, I didn't stutter when I came out there and said, I don't want that title, but I need that title. And I'm getting all charged up again, Roman and Jacob and Roman. And then he gets into it, Jacob. Now he tells the real story. And this is the story. He kind of like got into the reality of it with us when we interviewed him after night 1 of WrestleMania.
Yes.
Go back and watch that interview. And he talks about the fact, not in an aggressive way, but coming off, and who knows, maybe the one leads to the next. But coming off of that Drew McIntyre match, he brings up the fact that there was a period of time where he was rocking and rolling on the indies, where nothing is guaranteed, where you're trying to get to your next booking and chasing promoters down to make sure that they give you the money in the envelope that's supposed to be there before you go home, where you don't know where the next paycheck is going to come from.
You don't know where the next meal's going to come from.
Absolutely.
And Jacob, he was very upfront with us. He didn't know if WWE was ever going to happen for him.
Well, this is the thing, okay? He was doing this while the rest of the family was on the bloodline run.
Yeah.
While the Usos and Solo and Roman were all on the bloodline run, all making money hand over fist.
They weren't chasing anyone down for it. Those checks were clearing.
Oh, yeah. That was direct deposit.
That's
they didn't
right.
even worry about an envelope.
Nope.
No, yeah, that was not an issue. And Jacob said he had people coming up to him. When are you going to be there? You're better than this guy. You're better than that guy. And Jacob didn't even want to hear it at that time because he didn't have any control over it. And he got all the way to
12 years.
He got all the way to WrestleMania 40. And it was still like, I don't know if I'm coming in.
Is this going to happen?
And then you had Jay talking about how dangerous he was. And I mean, and it all becomes this thing, but like Jacob saying to Roman's face, you must be stuck in that WWE main event bubble. You must be stuck in the bubble. And that is a thing, right? I mean, I don't think Roman is there right now because he's only just won that championship back. But the reality of people who are great, the worst thing that they could do is get comfortable. Mm-hmm. Fighters have talked about how difficult it is to train when you got silk sheets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To get out of bed when you've created a life that's that comfortable. What are you getting out of bed for? What are you fighting for at that point? What more do you need?
And then Jacob starts talking about the grind.
Yeah, because Jacob doesn't have silk sheets.
No. And that's his whole career has been defined on the grind.
His whole life, forget about career, his entire life has been about grinding. Wrestling saved his life. He's told that story before. But you're right. It's not when I say wrestling saved his life, it means it got him off the streets. Mm-hmm. But the grind just continued and continued and continued until he finally got to this spot where I don't think that Jacob's in a position where he's willing to wait until somebody gives him the old head nod.
Yeah, and Jacob, to me, it seems like I didn't grind this hard or come this far just to be happy being here.
No, not just to run the play,
no.
as Jimmy suggested on SmackDown.
No, he is the play.
Right.
He's
Who's calling it?
Yeah, he's calling the play.
Yeah.
He's called plays his whole life.
Right.
That got him here.
Because he's been the only one there.
That's right.
The rest of the family was on TV. And Jacob going through all this, and then Roman saying, first Jacob saying, you didn't call me. The Usos didn't call me. Jimmy didn't call me. Jay didn't call me. Solo called me. And I love when Roman starts to because he did the same thing to CM Punk. You know what I mean? When he talked about okaying CM Punk.
I signed off on you.
I signed off on this. Like I do love when Roman reminds everybody who's running things around here.
Yes. They came to me to ask if it was okay.
Right.
And I signed off. I gave him my blessing.
Right.
And then he also, I didn't appreciate this from Roman Reigns, and I know.
Whoa.
I didn't appreciate when he said that Solo couldn't even get a cup of coffee delivered to the building.
So why not?
It did
It's a
make me
great
laugh
line.
a little bit.
Solo couldn't even get a cup of coffee delivered to the building.
I am anti-Solo hate.
Sure. But the idea, I mean, imagine if like you're Roman Reigns and somebody's sitting there going, Solo made the call. That'd be like if somebody came to me and said, you know who got me here? Hot Dog made the call. And I go, Hot Dog? What call is he making? What? I sign off on this stuff. Are you kidding me? That's what it would be like. I could see it from Roman's perspective. I love Solo as well.
I
You know I do.
I know. It was a great line.
And I get it.
But I think Solo could get a cup of coffee delivered.
I'm sure he could. And if not, I mean, he knows the guy.
Yeah.
And he's a charming guy. If he really wants some coffee, he can get a cup of coffee if he wants it. But
he's a little cousin.
yeah, he's a little cousin / little brother. I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, doesn't seem that little. I wouldn't want to mess with him. But when you're breaking up that family dynamic, and then Roman going back into the power position, and Roman going, you haven't earned this. You know, because ultimately, and it's really interesting, Roman first said, I don't want to say yes. I'll give you a week. And then even after he gave him a week, he still didn't want to say yes.
Mm-mm.
He was like, you haven't earned this. And he said, I can't just give you a title match. If I gave you a title match, that would be nepotism. And we don't want nepotism. And I mean, mid-sentence. I didn't see it coming. I don't think anybody saw it coming. Jacob just puts on that Tongan death grip. Just out of nowhere. Goes like, I'm not playing this game. Jacob is that reminder. That reminder of utter reality. Where he goes, I'm not playing here. Like, I don't know who you think I am. I don't know what you think this is. I don't play these games. This isn't like a sort of like, oh, wait till the tribal chief says this. Wait till the tribal chief says that. Nah, it ain't that.
I create my own opportunities.
Yes.
I call my own plays.
I take. I'm taking. I'm not here to ask for
I don't
it.
need your approval.
No, I'm here to take what's yours. That's what I'm going to do. This is Jacob Fatu.
I'm here to get my money.
Right. Yours is mine. I'm
Everything
here
you have.
to get what's yours. I understand you don't want me to have it. I'm going to take it from you because that's where I come from. That's who I am. And I don't know who you think you are that you get to sit here and dictate what goes on. And I mean, seeing Jacob, and it's really interesting too, because if you watch SmackDown, right, last week on Raw, Jacob's still getting cheered because it's exciting that Jacob's even there.
Yes.
Then Friday on SmackDown, Jacob is still getting cheered because he's telling this story of like something that you can relate to. Where you're like, yeah, they're right. Jacob should get the shot. And Jacob's doing it all by
He
himself.
wants his kids in a better school district.
And he's not looking for a shortcut, right?
No.
He's like, hey, Usos, I don't want your help. And then here comes Solo and his MFT.
Sure.
And he's going to lay all those guys out. He goes, I'm not here for that. I'm here for mine. And there's an honesty to it. There's a relatability to it. People enjoy it. People cheer for it. People love it.
Mm-hmm.
Except tonight, when we actually see him lay out Roman Reigns,
People did not like that.
it was almost this whoa. It was almost like this reality shock. Because I didn't hear, and I'll have to watch it back, but I didn't necessarily hear boos. But it wasn't cheers.
No.
It was like, whoa, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? This isn't, like, it was like we were playing this game of chess. Like, the Bloodline always plays chess in these stories. And we were playing this game of chess. And then Jacob showed up and just kicked the board over and smacked the other player in his face.
Well,
What are we doing?
Well, I also think it's just been over a week since Roman Reigns became the World Heavyweight Champion, and people all around wrestling, like yourself, have been saying for the last 8 days, we're back. The Bloodline's back. We're back. The Bloodline's back.
that a lot.
And so when Jacob puts hands on Roman Reigns, lays Roman Reigns out, and is holding the World Heavyweight title in his hand, it's almost this moment of shock. Wait, I thought we were back, but look at how dangerous Jacob Fatu is.
I mean, dog, we're so back. Okay, look at how exciting this is.
Is
What it is. We are so back. And I'm sitting there watching this story. I'm just, yay, both guys. You know what I mean? And that's just me.
How many times have you, you always carry a notebook around with you. How many times have you doodled the Samoan family tree this week?
I've been doing it all over. I mean, it's literally in my head all the time. just going over like, no, because the Fatus are over here, but they're connected here. You know, it's often Sika and their sister. And then, yeah.
All day.
I mean,
What goes on in your brain.
Always. I told you. It's my favorite family, including the Roberts. They're an incredible, incredible dynasty. It's sports' greatest dynasty for sure.
Without question.
They called themselves the number one family at the beginning of the show. They said they said the number one family. And it's hard to argue.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great families. You can talk to Natty. The Hart family's incredible. Obviously, the Rhodes family. There's the Von Erichs are being covered on the doc on A&E right now, which is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. But man, when you lay out that Samoan dynasty, there is nothing like it. And seeing Jacob Fatu holding that world heavyweight title was this reality check. Because this is the reality, right? Like everybody is trying to get ahead of this, going like, okay, and then after Roman beats Jacob, then where does Jacob end up?
It's like, no, Jacob
let's pump the
could
brakes.
become the world heavyweight champion. He could.
100% he could. 1,000% he could. Like there's a million different directions that this can go now, especially as Roman Reigns is gasping for air after that was the first thing that Jacob Fatu stole from Roman Reigns, took from Roman Reigns.
Spitting up a little bit on the mat.
His essence.
Yes.
He stole his oxygen. What he needs to breathe, what he needs to live. Jacob took it from him.
Did you hear him yell out to Jacob with the hoarse voice?
I did. And he said it's on at Backlash. Backlash, it's on.
And then Jacob.
Oh, I love Jacob.
This is the best part of this is how you know we are back. Because
you.
the storytelling happens like not with a microphone.
We don't need a microphone.
We don't need it. It's like up the ramp to the camera. Little things are said, but they're really big things. Like Jacob saying, no, we don't have to wait till Backlash. I'll see your punk ass here next week.
Come on, say it with some
I'll see your punk ass here next week.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
there
go.
it is, Meg. That's how you got to do it. I ain't waiting till
ass.
Backlash. I'll see your punk ass next week. Oh, and punk ass is
You know
not.
what I mean?
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
Isn't it
I'm feeling
exciting?
it. I know, I'm
There you
feeling
go.
it. I'm
I knew
getting
you'd
it. I
feel
know.
better after you said it like that. It's an exciting thing. You can't call another man punk ass. You don't do, especially if it's the tribal chief. Jacob is just on some other stuff right now. And it is amazing to see.
I love it.
It's so good. Before we get back to Raw, we have to talk about the main event happening in your own home.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, life is basically WrestleMania every single day. It's a high-stakes gauntlet where the responsibilities, they just keep coming. It feels like you're constantly making trade-offs between the things you have to do and the things you actually love. That's why we're celebrating those moments where you refuse to tap out. It's time for the Minute Maid Juice Break, where we highlight those everyday wins that deserve a massive pop. For example, this weekend, all I want to do is rest on the couch. All I want to do is rest on the couch. But you know what? My daughter doesn't want to go to sleep. Read a little more. Read a little more. So you know what I did? I said I could just let her cry it out and rest here on the couch, but I'm not going to tap out. I'm not going to do that. I went upstairs. I read her 3 more pages, and it was just enough so that she could go to sleep, and then I could get back to what I was doing. For me, those are the little wins that I'm talking about.
That's a good one. And you know, I can relate. For me a little bit different, but you know, I had to spend just one night in the hospital. But the trade-off was I donated a kidney, so someone got the kidney, and I wasn't going to say, no, I'm not going to do the night in the hospital. I'm a giving person, Sam. So that's what I did. And it is all about finding a moment for yourself in the middle of the chaos.
I don't know what the trade-off was. It's 3 pages versus a kidney. That's ridiculous.
One night in the hospital for an organ. Come on, be better.
Minute Maid and WWE are tag teaming your daily grind, bringing main event energy to life's everyday matches. Together, we're turning the toughest rounds into moments worth cheering for.
From the ring to real life, Minute Maid and WWE are here to help you bring the juice when the day tries to tap you out.
Never tap out on taste.
Bring the juice. It's a good one.
I don't think what you said was in the spirit of what we were doing.
One day, minor inconvenience for
Wasn't a minor I mean, you know, it's a huge undertaking.
minor inconvenience.
I don't want to keep. Why do I have to go first every single time?
Show prep.
What does that even mean? Anyway, Seth Rollins opened Monday Night Raw. Speaking of people who know how to win,
Yeah.
Seth Rollins opens Monday Night Raw. And he immediately gets in that ring and he spells out the fact that Braun Breaker is why he lost to Gunther. Which, listen, yes.
I heard you talking about this on your podcast.
What did I say?
Well, you were just talking about how Gunther was able to kick out of every single one of Seth's finishers.
I'm just saying, yes. Braun Breaker interfering in the match led to the sleeper hold.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nothing about that match that Gunther had lost before then. Just to be fair to Gunther. But yes, if I had been in Seth's position, I'd say that guy cost me that match. He said he also blames Braun Breaker as the reason that Roman Reigns is wearing what Seth still considers his championship, even though Roman Reigns never pinned Seth.
Yeah, I get very excited anytime that Seth Rollins brings up Roman Reigns. It's just one of those, we all want the match. So it's like when Seth is talking about Roman, it just gets the juices flowing a little bit.
The idea that he still considers the title that Roman's wearing his title.
Yeah, well, he didn't lose it. And the only reason that he had to relinquish the championship was because Braun Breaker took him out.
That's right. Of course. Of course. But now if he wants it back.
He's got to go through Braun Breaker. He's got to go eventually to Roman Reigns.
Oh.
Maybe Jacob Fatu. Who knows?
Oh my God.
Who knows?
I didn't even think of that. You're 100% right. But he calls out Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker answers immediately. And I was kind of surprised by this whole thing because they ended up using their words. They ended up going back and forth. There wasn't physicality this time. It was just the two of them letting each other know exactly what they thought. And the fact that it feels like the way Braun Breaker was talking, it felt as though Braun never felt like he needed to be under the tutelage of Seth Rollins, that it was always about Braun making that connection with Paul Heyman. But whereas Seth Rollins saw himself as the visionary, I mean, Braun Breaker was there with the vision from day one. Before it was, we even knew it was called the Vision, but it sounded like, and this could be revisionist history, that Braun never looked at Seth as the mentor that Seth thought he was.
Yeah, it sounds like that, but I thought it was very interesting when Seth pointed out, like, I've been in this business for so long. I've seen all of the athletes, the strongest, the fastest, the toughest. They've all come up through here. None of them are built like you, Braun Breaker, but there is something that you need to learn, and that's up here. That's up here. That's the psychological warfare. Those are the mind games that Seth Rollins knows better than anybody else in this industry. And to me, it almost seemed like Braun Breaker is naive to what those mind games can bring.
Maybe, but also maybe you don't need to worry about mind games when you can cut somebody in half with your spear.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can play on my insecurities all you want. I can run as fast as a car and then throw my hundreds of pounds body into your body and watch you collapse under the weight.
And also, who are you to say that I'm not ready?
Well, that was the big thing, right? Seth. So Seth also pointed out, you know, you're right. The Braun has everything except, you know, the mind for it.
Mm-hmm.
And Seth pointed out that there are similarities in the sense that Seth also came into the WWE at a young age with a chip on his shoulder, not ready to make the tough decisions, ready to get ahead at whatever cost. But Seth pointed out that where Braun Breaker tries, Seth Rollins succeeds. And that is probably this insecurity on Braun Breaker's part, right? And you talk about mind games, this is probably one of them, pointing out that Braun Breaker is like still in that world of potential.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Seth, you know.
And Seth even pointed out, you did all of this for what? when I did these things, it led to me being in the main event of WrestleMania. You took me out, and where did it get you? It got you injured. You weren't. I mean, he was at WrestleMania.
He said it got you Austin Theory and Logan Paul, which I felt like Logan Paul, I mean, should win an award for the amount of strays that he was catching tonight.
A lot.
I mean, I don't know why everybody thinks they could just go in there and use the name of Logan Paul in vain. It was a disrespectful night to Logan Paul.
It was,
to say the least. But yeah, that's where Seth said that, yeah, you're not ready for this. He said to Braun Breaker, you are not ready for this. And that is a risky line to walk, because you hear that from a lot of guys that have been around for a while, telling younger guys they're not ready.
in a lot of, not just in wrestling.
Sure.
You name a career path.
Right.
You name an industry.
Sports all the time.
Sure.
And sometimes that's because they're not ready. And other times it's because the old guard isn't ready to give up where they're at. And that's one of those things that we don't know which side of the coin it is until we see it in action. Because I don't think Braun Breaker is sitting there going like, gee, you're right, Seth, maybe I'm not.
Maybe I should go work harder.
Right. I don't think that's the mentality right now of Braun Breaker, because Braun hit him right back. He said, Seth, you are the best. You're the best professional wrestler in the world at being number 2.
Oh.
And you're just like, wow, because that is a struggle for Seth, you know what I mean? Like, and you've seen that throughout his career. Seth being like, no, like, I'm the guy. And there always being somebody else that like distracts attention from. But Seth is this, I mean, he's unbelievable. There's nobody like Seth Rollins. And then Seth coming back and saying Steiner, calling him Baby Steiner. Mm-hmm. He said, you're not even number 2 in your own house, in your own family. If you rank, I don't know if I'd put Braun over Scott or Rick. I don't know where I would rank the Steiners right now.
Again, another wrestling family.
100%. And a great wrestling family. And then the match is made for Backlash. Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins, one-on-one. Now, something Braun Breaker pointed out is you can mock Braun Breaker for his association with Paul Heyman, for his association with Logan Paul, for his association with Austin Theory. But something that he pointed out that was brought back into the fold later was that Seth has no friends.
None.
Like, that's
no
the thing, right?
right now.
Right.
Nothing.
That Seth isolated himself when he started the Vision. And now he's isolated from the Vision, but that's left him alone.
With no one.
And I don't think that that's a good place to be for Seth Rollins, although I honestly can't believe that we're already getting the Rollins Breaker Backlash match. Like, we're already getting it.
I know. I mean, this was something that a lot of people had circled. Maybe, if Seth was healthy and if Braun was healthy, that would be the WrestleMania match.
Right.
We knew that wasn't the case. Braun comes out. I mean, I saw a lot of people speculating that this would be a SummerSlam match.
Sure.
We're getting it in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, in Tampa at Backlash. And when I say, that Seth doesn't have any friends, I mean, the Street Profits spelled it out for him. Seth went and stopped them backstage tonight. And the Street Profits go, what are you talking about? Like, you think you're special? They said to him, you think you're special? We didn't do this for you. This had nothing to do with you. We want to get the tag team championship from the Vision. We don't care about your beef. We're not defending you. We're not helping you. We're trying to get those titles. And that's got to be a shot to Seth Rollins.
Yeah, especially after earlier in the night, right? And he's talking to Braun Breaker and he's talking about how, I was the one who took you under my wing. I was the one you were going to learn from my tutelage.
Right.
And so Seth Rollins, this guy who's done so much in the industry, he's main evented WrestleManias. He sees the Street Profits backstage. They're like, dude, we don't care about your stuff. I mean, that has to hurt even more. It's like none of these people in the locker room are giving me this respect
or support.
Yes.
But I mean, you reap what you sow. But it is kind of a reality check. I think more than anything, it's a reality check of this is where I'm at right now. Mm-hmm. And, this is the situation that I've put myself in. Speaking of Braun Breaker, by the way, I want to tell you that if Braun Breaker is who you're rooting for at Backlash, you can rep Braun Breaker with 2 new tees available now at WWE Shop and Fanatics. You can grab your Braun Breaker shirts before they're gone. You can also, he's powerful. He's dominant. He's ready to make a statement. I'm talking about Oba Femi. New Oba Femi t-shirts have also arrived at WWE Shop and Fanatics. Show your allegiance to one of WWE's newest dominant forces and get your Oba Femi t-shirt now. We will talk about the ruler.
Before we move on quickly
please.
from Seth and Braun, did it surprise you at all when Paul Heyman was holding the mic that he gave it to Braun right away? I thought we were going to hear more from Heyman.
I think Heyman is in an interesting position because I love that question because I hadn't even thought about it. But I think that Heyman needs a meal ticket. Mm-hmm. And I think that he's realized that Braun Breaker has to be his guy. Seth Rollins is not his guy.
Brock Lesnar is retired.
Brock Lesnar just retired. So it's like, okay, who am I latching on to? Who am I going to be of service to? And I think that that's where it's Braun Breaker. So it's almost like Paul Heyman is back in a position where Braun Breaker is the one holding the cards. And Paul Heyman is there to be of service to Braun Breaker, but ultimately Braun Breaker is the one that calls those shots. And that's an important spot for Braun Breaker to get into. You know what I mean? Just in terms of perception. Mm-hmm. The idea that I think that unless you're Brock Lesnar, if you're a younger guy and Paul Heyman is doing the talking, there's a perception that you're sitting under the learning tree.
And that you can't talk.
Sure, maybe. Or that maybe you're just still in that mentee role and this is the mentor. Whereas somebody like Braun Breaker, who's going, no, I'm here for right now. Now is the time.
Yeah, and in a way, what Seth criticized him for, a lot of people still say that you're the future. They talk about your potential.
Right.
So Braun Breaker.
No, present. I'll do present.
Yeah, present.
I'll do right
now.
Thank you. And you're seeing that across the roster, which I love right now. You're seeing that from Jacob Fatu. You're seeing that from Oba Femi. Mm-hmm. You're seeing that from Braun Breaker, obviously. I think you're seeing that more from Javon Evans.
Yeah, I was going to say he stepped up tonight.
Standing up for himself. I think you're even seeing that from call-ups. You're seeing that from Ethan Page. You're seeing that from Fatal Attraction, Fatal Influence. I keep saying Fatal Attraction because I love that movie.
Yes.
Fatal Influence over on SmackDown. Like everybody is stepping up in this post-WrestleMania season because I think even though Oba pointed out tonight that so many of these titles are kind of cemented in, mm-hmm. It's the land of opportunity at the moment. And there's a pretty clear distinction that there's a new generation coming up and that it's not, you're looking at NXT and the top of that roster just got wiped out and brought to Raw and SmackDown. So it's no longer, hey, one day those NXT guys are going to be on Raw and SmackDown.
They're here.
They're here now. And they're not here so that 5, 6, 7 years from now, they've been in developmental. They've been developing. Now it's time to take it all.
Yeah, they're not here to sit in catering.
Exactly right. They're here to win championships.
I was a little surprised.
Checks and championships.
But I was a little surprised when Paul Heyman came out to the ring holding the microphone. I was surprised to see him hand it over to Braun Breaker. I thought we were going to hear more from Paul. But you're right. You make a good point. And I think that's what Braun needs to do as he heads into this match against Seth is prove that he is the present.
I think that Braun Breaker is at the point where it's time to do the Braun Breaker show. Mm-hmm. Not the Paul Heyman show with Braun Breaker. The Braun Breaker show. Speaking of people coming up from NXT and making an impact, Joe Hendry.
Big concert tonight.
Yes. Showed up on Monday Night Raw.
You like the lyrics?
I thought
Michael Cole loved them.
Michael Cole loved them. Michael Cole was on one tonight for sure, probably because it is Texas. He loves being at home.
He felt comfortable.
He does.
Kick his feet up a little bit.
He does. Danielle, who works with me?
Of course.
She thought his name was Joe Hendry Concert when she saw the graphic. One of the most absurd things I've ever heard in my life. Is his name Joe Hendry Concert? I said, what?
No, it's
Joe Hendry
and he's putting on a concert.
It'd be like Be like if like Metallica was playing somewhere and they went like, "Oh, it's my favorite band, Metallica concert." And it's like, wait, what? What did you just say?
Metallica.
It's the description of what they're doing. It's an event that they're performing. No, it's Joe Hendry concert. And people have been Joe Hendry concert. Now I can't unsee it. And people have been JHC. And people have been waiting for Joe Hendry to make an impact like this. And I thought the lyrics of his song, he set up who he was, which is, you know, a guy who was at WrestleMania, a guy who's won championships, a guy that everybody's been waiting for. And they said, well, what would you like to see happen now that you're on Monday Night Raw? And he's like, well, I'd like to see Logan Paul get fired. And I feel like sometimes, you know, you got to know your audience. You got to go and you got to know your audience. And if you're going to do a sing-along, and maybe not everybody has gotten a chance to sing along with Joe Hendry concert just yet. If you're gonna do a sing-along with Joe Hendry, you got to do something that the audience is going to be able to latch onto.
And Logan Paul getting fired is something everybody can latch onto.
You could do that's out of wrestling.
Yeah.
Just whatever job it is. People love that. Except Logan Paul doesn't love it. Everybody else loves it. So I thought it was a very successful first-time performance for Joe Hendry on Monday Night Raw.
Crowd was into it.
Crowd was into it. He got the upper hand over the Vision for a hot second. But, you know, real quick, it was 2-on-1. Theory and Logan Paul start beating down Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry, I know he's new to Raw, but I think if tonight is any indication, if he learns from tonight, he's got to make some friends.
Well, the Street Profits were there to have his back.
Which is great.
Again, I think the Street Profits have their own reasons.
Yeah, they're also looking for championships.
Yeah, they have their own goals. But yeah, I think and they came out to save Joe Hendry, and we got that moment with the Street Profits and Joe Hendry. But I think that Joe Hendry is going to have a nice place on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
There's a lot of material for him on Raw, I think. I'm waiting for, I think we get a hot Grayson Waller track. You know, hopefully respectful, but I think maybe a Dominic Mysterio, maybe a JD McDonough track. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of songs that we could do, and I have yet to watch a Monday Night Raw that couldn't use a little musical interlude from Joe Hendry.
Everybody loves it.
Plus the twist, the turn. You know what I mean?
It's the best. The entrance. I did miss Booker T singing his song, though.
Yeah, look, all due respect to Michael Cole, he doesn't have the voice that Booker T has.
He never will.
No, unfortunately, he's got other great qualities.
Many fine qualities.
Right. He's the voice of the WWE. He's not the voice of the Joe Hendry song.
That's Booker T.
That's Booker T.
But no, I was happy to see Joe Hendry. Especially he's made a lot of moments in WWE.
Absolutely.
I think back to WrestleMania, the surprise opponent for Randy Orton. So seeing him on Raw is huge.
Yeah, I think, I'm trying to rank the NXT call-ups, and I feel like, Ethan Page has done such a tremendous job. There it is. Inserting himself into the Intercontinental Championship picture. Like the fact that he's right there. And nobody's questioning it.
No.
With Ethan Page.
He comes out with that suit.
100%.
And that attitude.
Right.
Yeah, you can't question it.
No, and he's right in that Intercontinental title conversation, which is ideal. You have Joe Hendry, obviously. We find out next week we're going to get Sol Ruca.
Which is great. We just had her on the podcast last week.
Yes.
She wasn't sure.
Right.
And now it's official. Well, after next week when she puts pen to paper.
Right. It'll be official. Teasers on SmackDown for Blake Monroe.
I can't wait for that. The glamour.
The glamour. For Ricky Saints. But man, I think in terms of just impact, because that's what you want at first, right? Is making the biggest impact. Fatal Attraction showing up. Fatal Influence. I've been
Fatal
doing it
Influence
all day.
all day. I was listening to your radio show earlier, and you said Fatal Attraction, and I almost called in. Was like, "You're wrong."
I keep saying it,
but I was listening on delay, so I was like, "He's probably already corrected."
And
the boys held you accountable, so you're good.
JC Jane has all the A's in it. I go back to Fatal Influence and JC Jane showing up on SmackDown. Look, nobody wants to get booed, but it's hard to imagine having a bigger impact on a show on your first night on the main roster than Fatal Influence.
I mean, JC Jane, I feel like, has been someone who's often been underestimated.
Absolutely.
I think back to when she won the NXT Women's Championship for the first time. She beat Stephanie Vaquer, who was a 2-time champion, a double champ in NXT, the
That's
Women's
right.
North American champion and the NXT champion. And out of nowhere, JC Jane takes the Women's Championship off of Stephanie Vaquer to the point where when that show went off the air, everybody's mouth was on the floor.
Yeah.
Because nobody could believe it. For the longest time, everybody called JC Jane the most beatable champion. Everyone thought it was a fluke.
And then
Not
nobody could beat
only
her.
did she have one extremely long, successful reign, but after losing the title, she wins it back and she goes on another reign. Fatal Influence is a force to be reckoned with, and they made their impact on SmackDown already. I can't wait to see what they do.
I mean, regardless of what the noise is, the fact is that when you are new to SmackDown, to the main roster in general, and you stand in the ring with Rhea Ripley, you are already fighting against a current because Rhea Ripley, in terms of star power, there's like nobody bigger.
No one.
Like, that is the type of
Right
shadow.
now, no one.
Right. That's the type of shadow that you get lost in. The idea that JC and Fatal Influence were able to be in there and not only not get lost in that shadow, but create create enough interest from the audience to make a noise even louder than the one that Rhea was getting.
When they stood there, I said, I want to see this.
This is the type of booing that happens to Dominic Mysterio, that happens to Logan Paul.
Yes.
And I say that with love. I say that with like best case scenario type of stuff. I am so excited for Fatal Influence and everything they're going to be doing on SmackDown. But I've got to tell you, if you're not over the excitement of WrestleMania,
I'm not.
I'm not either. Fanatics Casino has a way for you to harness the action no matter where you are. WrestleMania Road to Gold is the most star-studded casino game ever and is the latest in the series of WWE-themed games exclusively available at Fanatics Casino. The exclusive game features 20 WWE stars from WrestleMania 42. Like Liv Morgan, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes, and more. To top it off, the bonus pack game is voiced over by the icon himself, singer-songwriter Michael Cole. Play WrestleMania Road to Gold and 5 other WWE casino games anytime you please, only at Fanatics Casino. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Casino app. Big night for you, Megan Morant.
All day. Big day for me. Big day for all of the Becky believers. I don't know if you saw earlier today, Amo, the coffee brand, launched its website, sold out of 2 flavors already.
I was just thinking we should get a product that gives Becky Lynch more energy and gets her talking more. So I'm glad she has a coffee company.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, it already is great.
It is?
It's fantastic.
Is that just you saying that?
No, a lot of people are saying it.
Really?
Everybody's saying it.
Wow.
Sports Illustrated says it. Bleacher Report says it.
They report on coffee?
Yes, they do.
Wow.
Now they do. They
That's-
have to. They had
Because
no
it's
other
such
choice.
a big deal?
Massive deal.
Wow.
You know, I subscribed to the website early, so I got a little email, and it said, because you subscribed early, you get to go into the store an hour before everybody else with this special code. So I copied the code, I pasted the code.
You did.
Yes, I did. I'm on the website already. 2 flavors sold out immediately. I'm trying to
Before
add them
you
to
can
my cart,
even-
and the website must have had so much traffic on it that it was taking a substantial amount of time to put it in my cart.
Wow.
I mean,
were you able to get any?
I was able to get some. I had to be very patient with the website. I understand it's, this stuff is flying off the shelves.
It is. It
Amo.
is. It is. That's amazing. And then she shows up on Monday Night Raw.
I mean, this is the kind of working woman who's our Intercontinental Champion. Earlier in the day, launches her coffee website and then shows up in Laredo, Texas, of all places.
That's right. That's right. Laredo, Texas, with the Intercontinental Championship, proclaiming this is a new era of the manosphere which is Becky Lynch is obviously because she's the man.
I mean, she's making history,
so
right?
it's the manosphere.
Yeah, it was her 10.
I think I saw a Netflix doc about that.
It was
They didn't
her
mention.
maniversary at
Oh.
WrestleMania, which you did not acknowledge when we interviewed her, which I thought was very rude of you.
Oh,
It was her 10th WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
And you didn't even congratulate her,
No, there was a lot going on that day.
including her winning the
No.
Intercontinental title.
No, and I gave her credit for winning it. I did point out that a 3-time Intercontinental champion would imply that those other times that she said she didn't lose it, that clearly she did.
Listen, she's the only woman to win 4 different titles at WrestleMania.
I know, I'm aware. That wasn't a research point. She said that. She pointed that out tonight. I don't know if she pointed that out.
Well, she's coming for The Undertaker.
No, I know. She's got a lot of victories, and she's hoping. I mean, I think The Undertaker ended up at, what was it, 23 victories at WrestleMania?
Well, now that WrestleMania is 2 nights, too, Becky might
maybe
be able to
she
do it
can
sooner.
Double it up on some of those years. That's pretty smart. Yeah, not only is she coming for The Undertaker's record, but she was giving herself credit for getting rid of that horrible AJ Lee.
Absolute joke.
Right.
Loser, AJ Lee, I think she called her.
I think she might have. And then I think probably made a huge mistake when she decided to issue an open challenge that she thought she might be able to talk her way out of. And Io Sky, potentially the best wrestler, male or female, as you've described her before, on the roster.
Listen, I love Io Sky, and I agree. She's arguably the best wrestler on the planet,
Yeah.
male or female.
Yeah.
But where Io went wrong tonight was the disrespect that she showed to Becky Lynch, because here comes Becky Lynch. She wants to be a fighting champion. She wants to show her daughter what that looks like. So she comes to these towns like Laredo and she issues an open challenge. And here comes Io, and she's not respectful and thankful to Becky Lynch, who gave this opportunity to all of the women in the back. She just attacks her.
She did not just attack.
She just attacks her.
There was no attack.
She comes after Becky.
She accepted the challenge. She said, I accept.
No,
It's not
she
she
just
didn't get in
attacked.
the-
She puts hand on her.
She did not physically attack Becky Lynch before.
Becky didn't ask for that. No, because then she did. She came after Becky because Becky called her out, and she was like, "Look, is your friend Rhea Ripley going to come out here?"
The Becky was the one who was disrespectful. She said she wanted to fight Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty. She called Io Sky Marty Jannetty.
Well,
Well,
do you
what?
blame her right now?
Yes.
What role has Io been playing recently?
Not Marty Jannetty.
Sometimes it's not easy. It's not easy to hear those things, Sam, but the truth hurts.
You can't. I thought that Becky meant it in a very, very disrespectful way.
I
And
thought Io was being very disrespectful of Becky
by answering her open challenge.
by attacking her.
We'll leave it to Adam Pearce to make the match. And I'm going to tell you this. I believe if Asuka hadn't come out there, we would have had a new women's
Well, we'll
Intercontinental
never know,
champion.
will we?
Okay.
We'll never know.
No, I guess we won't know.
We won't know.
Because it was
You
a...
would think that.
Well, I would think that because Io Sky kicked out of the Manhandle Slam.
Becky always has a plan.
Yeah, well, it helps when Asuka comes out.
Sure.
I don't think that was Becky's plan, but Asuka comes out, interferes in the match. One more Manhandle Slam. Becky gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. Becky does retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And we got another match made for Backlash. Io Sky versus Asuka.
Which is a match we've been waiting for a long time.
Oh, I can't. The Io Sky versus Asuka is going to go insane at Backlash. This Backlash card is nuts. Roman versus Jacob. Theoretically, I'm assuming if we got a graphic, we'll have it. But Roman accepted the challenge, So Roman versus Jacob. Seth versus Breaker. Io versus Asuka.
It's nuts.
This is an insane, insane card.
Well, back to Becky just for one quick second. Later on in the show, we heard Roman Reigns said that it's not the title that makes the man, it's the man that makes the title. And I would just like to point out that the man, Becky Lynch, has made the Women's Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I mean, AJ Lee was a good champion, too. He's a horrible.
How many defenses did she have? Is she a 3-time history maker?
I don't know if she's made a lot of history in the WWE.
Not with that title, though.
Okay.
Not with that title.
Fine. That's fine. I've got to tell you, the number one sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest,
Oh, we're going back.
is returning to the Javits Center in New York City from July 16th through the 19th, 2026. That's this summer, a couple months away at this point, July 16th through the 19th. It is a must-attend event for WWE fans. You'll be able to meet your favorite superstars and enjoy surprise appearances all weekend long. WWE Superstar autograph and photo opportunities at Fanatics Fest are on sale now. Confirmed WWE Superstars for photo and autograph opportunities include Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, Tiffany Stratton, who's the new Women's United States champion.
Yes, congrats to Tiff.
Trish Stratus, and Charlotte Flair. More WWE Superstars will continue to be announced, so fans should stay tuned to Fanatics Fest social channels for the latest updates. Fanatics Fest tickets are on sale now at fanaticsfest.com. And we got a big treat on Monday Night Raw. Oba Femi in action. And it is so crazy to me, like picking up on that vibe of Oba coming out tonight. Since WrestleMania, he has already ascended to that attraction level where it feels like a big deal. Just the fact that he's walking to the ring, just the fact that he's in his gear, it feels like, oh, it's a big deal. Oba Femi is wrestling tonight.
Yeah, Oba Femi shows up on Raw, and I mean, I love how they did it as well. They show him backstage. You get that nice shot of Oba from down low, and you just get to see how massive of a human being he is.
He's a big guy.
Go to commercial, no one's going anywhere. Because when we come back, Oba's wrestling on our TV screens.
And
that's something that you do not want to miss.
That's right. And he's facing Grayson Waller, who, I mean, has been doing a lot of running to train for matches like this. But I'll tell you what, he should have used some of that running.
To run away.
Yeah, he should have ran in the opposite direction. The way Brock Lesnar retired after Oba Femi, I would have thought Grayson Waller would have just put his boots in the ring and left.
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to run, you know?
You go the opposite direction. Give us another, 48, 448, 44, whatever that thing is.
I mean, God bless him, right? For having the confidence to be in there with Oba.
God bless him. He's got the experience under his belt.
Not many can say that.
I mean, Oba Femi picked him up by the belt and threw him across the ring. That's not pleasant.
I don't know how he's doing after that match, but Oba then comes out to say that the Oba Femi Open Challenge begins because he talks about how, there's no opportunity around here, right? A lot of people talk about how the championships and where they are, maybe there's not a lot of opportunity here on Raw, but Oba is going to create opportunities. So he says the Open Challenge begins now.
How about that? That like Oba now sees himself. I mean, Oba's been on the main roster since January. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like going, not even 5 months has he been on the main roster. And he's already the guy going, I'm going to give the opportunity. I'm not here to take it. I'm already in the position where I can give opportunity.
But who in the right mind would step up to Oba Femi?
I mean, listen, that's what it's all about. Because guess what? We were asking the same question 5 weeks ago. Who in their right mind would step up to Brock Lesnar because of a perceived opportunity? 5 or 6 weeks ago, however long ago it was, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar showed up in the ring and said Brock Lesnar is offering an open challenge. WrestleMania has 2 main events, the title match and the Brock Lesnar match. There's nothing bigger. There's an open challenge for the Brock Lesnar match, but be careful. Who in their right mind steps up to the Brock Lesnar match? Because even though you can't find a bigger match than that one at WrestleMania, it's the type of match that will also end your career because you're in there with the beast. So Oba Femi is now taking that energy, and it would appear going week by week with it. Just showing up. And by the way, that's also when you know there's an attraction. It's one thing for there to be a United States Open Challenge, which Trick Williams has decided to do away with. You know what I mean? It's one thing for John Cena to do it with a title. This is not about a title. This is not about a championship. This is the privilege of being in the ring with the ruler. And you're right. I mean, for people like you and I think the question would be who in their right mind would think this is a good idea.
Yeah, is Raw going to have any superstars left after the end of this challenge?
I don't know, but when you're in this game, you've got to look at every opportunity as the potential for upward mobility.
Oba's going to destroy everyone.
Yes, he is.
Adam Pearce needs to talk
Answer
to
the challenge.
Oba and say, you're going to destroy our entire roster.
Well, look, if Oba's going to
Nobody's going to be left.
well, then guess what? If he's got the ability to destroy the entire roster, then just give him all the belts. That's all. Give him all the belts. If you're not ready to just give him all the belts, then the open challenge is on. And I do wonder, I mean, I don't even, because it's like,
You know what I do if I'm one of the wrestlers there and Oba's, having this open show? I'm going to catering.
please,
I'll stay right here in catering.
you're spending the next 5 minutes and 56 seconds getting a mile in. So you're very far away.
No, thank you.
Right. You're going 26.2 in the opposite direction.
Who is answering? I mean, he even said it. It's going to be unforgiving. It's going to be relentless because he is the ruler.
Yeah, but this is what you have to do. You have to step up to the guy. I mean, everybody on that roster should be looking at Obafemi, going, he did that. He did that. If you're on this roster going like that spot is only for specific people and I'm not one of them, it's the wrong game, dude.
That's right.
It's the wrong game.
It's a good point.
People should absolutely be stepping up because I just said you get that feel of the attraction that is Obafemi
And
when
if you
he's in
get
there.
one on Obafemi, that can make your career.
I mean, it would. He's the guy who beat Brock Lesnar into retirement. People say, oh, it's not a retirement match if they planned on retiring. Well, I didn't hear Brock Lesnar say he was retiring before this thing.
I didn't either.
He beat Brock Lesnar into retirement at WrestleMania. This is the guy to beat or even just have a moment with. I would think if you can survive to tell the tale, there's something about just being able to step up to that guy.
Being in the ring with the ruler.
I mean, can you imagine JD McDonough and Obafemi? Somebody like JD McDonough is perfect.
Well, when
somebody
you put it like that,
somebody who's
after
willing.
the match he had with Finn Balor, the match he had at WrestleMania, and the ladder match.
Yeah. The amount of punishment that dude is willing to take. 1,000%.
I see someone like Rusev stepping up to Obafemi.
Wow,
That would be amazing.
Yeah, but he beat Rusev. Rusev already tried it before WrestleMania.
That's true.
I mean, I know because and I get, why I think you did?
Why?
It's a different Oba.
It is.
There's a different Oba coming off of WrestleMania. Now, look, Rusev's feeling very confident. He's the second week in a row, he's beating up Penta. Maybe he does want to step up. Maybe he does have that confidence. I mean, imagine if at a point somebody like a Sheamus is able to find his way back.
Yeah.
That'd be unbelievable.
I would love to see that.
Yes. There's a lot. There's quite a bit of potential here. But look, a lot went on tonight. We don't know what's next week. We've got Sol Ruca.
Contract signing.
We're building up more and more and more to Backlash. We got 3 matches signed. I can't wait to see what happens next. We will be here next Monday on WWE Now to recap all of it. Don't forget to subscribe across all audio platforms. Leave comments, hit like on YouTube, and we'll see you next week for more WWE Now Raw Recap.